Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video, and like I predicted in my video earlier on today, today likely was going to be the day they announced the final cover for the Korra and Avatar Free Comic Book Day book. We've been waiting ages for this. It made them look a little weird that they left it so long using this plain blank not final cover with like no information about the book, though they did announce like the people involved without really separating who was doing which. We still don't really know. So it's a bit of a weird announcement in the sense that like we come out of it and it's like, great, we have the cover now. I still don't really know what to think about this book because you've not told me what it's going to be about. There's not really a description of it, and it's very much just interpret the cover how you will. And while it's a nice cover, there's not a lot to go on because, you know, as you can see here, the final cover, they haven't made much changes from the original one. Like, I appreciate the blue to go with the Korra section, the orange to go with the Avatar section. Nice color picks, but it's still rather bland. But it's a massive improvement over what it was before. So you've got to give them props there. Why they waited so long for such minor changes, who knows? But anyway, like, of course, you know I'm joking. Because here's the actual final cover. So, you know, they have delivered here at last. And again, it is a Free Comic Book Day reveal here. They have a news post up on their site, as well as the listing as well. So here's the news article. Cover art revealed for Dark Horse's Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. So they acknowledge that it is under a month away that they finally announced it. Celebrate the world of the four nations with 2 all-new stories from Avatar and Korra. Your favorite characters from both generations of Avatar teams bring you some food for thought more than a few laughs along the way. Not sure what's going on there. I assume there's some spacing and a word missing there, but who knows. It also doesn't quite fit because technically Iroh is not a member of the original Team Avatar, and technically Jinora, Ikki, and Tenzin are not member of Korra's Team Avatar either. So I get it, they're just basically talking about characters from both generations, but not Avatar teams. So that description, they need to have a better description than that to make it clear what the 2 books are about, because I love the cover, I really do. The artist is Sam Beck. As you can see, it revealed here are some of the details on the Free Comic Book Days on the Dark Horse website, as well as I think it says it here if we go into it. Yeah, so writers, we have, you know, our artists here. So I guess this confirms Sam Beck is doing the Korra art interiors, and then I guess what Kiku Hughes, or no, Sarah Alphagate is doing the Avatar story. I guess they could make it a little bit more clear, but again, you can see it's the same description here, including you know, error. So not sure what the deal is there, but yeah, I like it. I like the use of the characters here, that it's a Korra book but it's not focused on Korra. Korra was absolutely the last character that they needed to do a short story about. To me, the only real Avatar Korra characters that you probably shouldn't have done it on probably are Korra and Bolin. I think are the 2 like sort of main characters who've had the most attention, where like you probably don't need to have the short story focused on them. But if it was Asami, I'd be fine. If it was Mako, I'd be fine. Jinora seems to be the case here, absolutely fine. So yeah, they seem to be going for Jinora and Ikki, the sort of sibling dynamic, and Tenzin here in the background as well. And I guess it's, you know, Air Temple Island or wherever they are. I definitely like the look of this, but I don't think it says too much about what the story is about, because this would lead you to believe that, oh, is this just going to be like a character little short story of showing more of the, you know, sibling banter between the Air kids, with Tenzin doing the like father reaction in the background? Because like we've seen that before. It feels like they've kind of grown a little bit past that. So I hope there's more to the story than just, you know, the siblings arguing with each other. I actually want to see more done with the characters. Janora, of course, is in that weird sort of transition kind of point where she's sort of not quite a main character, but she's also not a super minor character anymore. So she could kind of go either way, and I definitely want her to be used in a more heavy fashion because I really like the character development she went through in book 2 and 3. It was just a bit unfortunate that she didn't get used particularly well in book 4, despite it being her debut book as a Master Airbender. And so, like, if it's going to feel a little weird if, Master Airbender Janora here is going to be, just, having a awkward sibling back and forth with Iki as like the main focus of this book, whereas I'm kind of more like, I want to see Janora positioned as being someone super important in helping the human spirit conflict and helping Korra to deal with that. But the impression I get here is just that they're going to be more focused on humor and stuff like that. That's what this seems to be talking about. Food for thought and laughs, fine. Doesn't necessarily tell me that like you're going to actually deal with anything important. And then Iroh, obviously, I suppose this suggests that the Avatar book is Iroh focused, which is fine. It is Iroh in his, I suppose, more casual kind of getup here, maybe serving tea at the Jasmine Dragon. How that goes, I suppose, could go anyway. Any Iroh, I suppose, is good Iroh, but again, he is a character who has a lot of mystery that still surrounds him. And if you sort of in a way like waste a short story of just sort of basic Iroh being Iroh, that's going to be a little bit disappointing. And the reason I'm not being like super like wildly excited for this is just that in recent history they've not necessarily been batting 100 basically when it comes to delivering on the short stories. The last Korra Free Comic Book Day book, Lost Pets, wasn't really anything to write home about. It was pretty average, kind of forgettable. And then in my mind, basically all but maybe one of the Team Avatar Tales short stories in that book were kind of forgettable as well. The only one that really kind of stood out to me was the Toph and the Boulder one with the Boulder's cat, Croco Cat. That was kind of interesting. But all the other ones to me were kind of bland and boring. So they could go either way. Like, are these creators going to actually push the boundaries like a lot of the other free comic books have? Friends for Life is a must-read Korra comic. How Korra Met Naga. That's a big story, and it's nice on the character side of things, as well as just telling an important story. So they got that right. And then a lot of the other free comics for Avatar, Your Sisters, Shells, and Rebound, all are very important in their own way. So they've got a decent amount of them right, but recent history doesn't necessarily speak too kindly on the short story approaches. So I'm hoping that the actual story of these reads a little bit better than maybe what is immediately suggested by the art, and that's where the lack of any sort of proper description about what are they about, or they're some of the only comics that don't have preview pages. Like you can see here, a lot of them have preview pages, especially in the Silver comics, but Korra and Avatar is one of the only ones that doesn't. It just would have been nice to have that there, just to take a look at it, get a sense for what it is, especially because you are actually like making an announcement about it. Like, it felt like all of the Free Comic Book Day announcements were sort of done when they made the initial announcement that this book existed months ago. You're making now a big deal about the cover, but where's the details? Like, you can see Dark Horse's tweet here, details, and all the details is the image, effectively. Everything else we knew before. So that to me is a little bit frustrating, that the book is more than the cover, and it's a nice cover. I want it in my collection, of course, and I hope I can get it. It does beg the question of like, where's this going to get a reprint, if it ever does get a reprint. The main things that aren't reprinted in terms of Avatar comics are the Korra short stories, but now this makes it even more complicated because, okay, another Korra short story that you can reprint in a Korra short story collection at some point, but now you have another random Avatar story as well, where there's nowhere to put that small story. So it just kind of keeps continuing in terms of like, are we ever going to have, you know, official releases that aren't super exclusive to Free Comic Book Day stuff? But anyway, it's not just going to be physical. There is going to be a digital edition of this available for free as well. When exactly they put that live, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they kind of do a day of or the day after. So there's that. So yeah, there's the news, basically, the new cover. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on the new Avatar and Korra Free Comic Book Day cover. What are your hopes for both of the stories based on what we've seen here? What looks to be a Air Kids focused story for the Korra side of things, and an Iroh focused story for the Avatar side of things, I think. Not that the description would let me know. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. That's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.